Hey, my wonderful divine masculine Scorpio placements. Welcome to your extended monthly Tarotscope for the month of October. Welcome. My name is Christina. I do tarot readings for divine counterparts, twin flame soulmates, but also just general readings for the collective. So, wherever you are on your journey, the astrology and the tarot of this might line up. If you're not sure if you're more feminine or masculine energy, we all hold both, everyone. Consider watching both of your sign and going from there. I also have at my website, gingermama.com, a blog that says Wounded and Healed Masculine and Feminine Energy. And you can go through that list and get an idea of where you might be more imbalanced, okay? I love all of you. Here we go. When I was channeling for you, it was as the wind. And I hear that siren coming in too. It was almost like this feeling of like someone just standing completely still and looking around, and they're like, oh my gosh, like the leaves quivering, like the wind, like something's changing, and you feel that change, like that change of seasons. As we're in October, where I'm at, there's a change of season, but you're like, I can't move. Like, what do I do? It's almost like this paralyzing fear within you of like, I don't quite know anything about this. Like, what do I do? And it's this feeling of like, you're not moving. You're not taking any step to do hard work here. Page of Cups. It's like, you might feel like you have an energy in your life that like you're giving love to or you want to give love to, but there's not real honest like connection or hard work or like commitment within that. And so yeah, it's like the Five of Pentacles reversed. You're not going to be left out in the cold. Source isn't trying to leave you out of anything. But masculine energy really has to get to this place where they understand we are all connected. We are all one. Mother Nature, all of it. So again, astrology, tarot, it's all combined. Tarot cards have astrology meaning, and astrology, it's all tied in, everybody. So beginning of the month, on October 2nd, we have Mercury direct Virgo, which is going to be more clear, grounded, logical communication. Which will be great because we've been in Mercury retrograde. It's been a little dicey. A lot of masculine energies too have been confused. Like they feel this sudden heart space pull, but they don't quite know how to articulate it, right? So this is a good time for you to get grounded and be like, do I want to stay in the connection I'm in, or does that need to end? Do I need to go towards another connection? Does that need to end? And like get very clear. We're not like ghosting people and stepping back in here and there. No, we're being adults about this. Who do you want to be with? And why, and commit to that. And if you can't commit to that, then you need to pull back and just work on yourself and not be with anyone, right? Like, let's be real here. We're not 16-year-old, players, right? Like, we're adults. Maybe you are, I don't know. But the 4th through the 5th, we have Aquarian energy. The moon will be conjunct Saturn. Listen to this one. Yeah. I love that train confirming. Trains might be significant for you as well, a sign to take action. And this is going to be a big period of transformation. The 8th, we have Pluto direct Capricorn, which we've been waiting on since April 19th. So anything you were doing in mid-April or manifesting, whatever it was, if you were wanting a connection, here's the time. Harvest season, here it is. The world reverse. There's a cycle you've not completed. I feel like that's what those train horns are trying to get at. You didn't complete a cycle that you started in April, that you were supposed to do something. And here we are in Libra season, 6 months later. And understand, this is like halfway through the year, right? Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, right? Train confirming. Do you hear this? There is something you're supposed to do. And I guarantee you, it's probably about a past person, right? And it's this feeling of like you feel hopeless. You're like, it's never going to work. They don't want me. They don't want me. But again, it's all about you, right? You're like, they don't want me, so I'm not going to do it. It's like, what's the right thing to do? Did you hurt someone? Family, friend, lover? Did you ghost them? Did you run? You got to tell the truth about this. You got to grow up and be mature. And I don't care how scary it is. These feminines have had to go through it, and they've done a lot of that. You ghosted someone, and you're being called to not leave them out in the cold. Maybe this does have to do with finances. Maybe there's something here where you financially drained them or took money or hid money from them, and it was really manipulative. And now you're being called to speak the truth. Those trains will not stop. So you know what you did, and it's only going to get worse from here, especially as if you don't do that. Yeah, these trains, I can't get over it. Look, as I say this, your strength will be depleted. You will feel weaker and weaker in your physical vessel and energetically. It will continue to diminish. These divine feminines know how to protect their energy, and they're not throwing it back at you. They're not giving it to you. The darker energies you might be feeling are from other energies you're tied to or you were engaging in sexual activity with. And it's creepy shit, guys. So you don't have to believe me, but it's true. And I'm happy to read for some of you, but oftentimes source with masculine energy will push back and not allow me to read for them because there is so much doubt, and they get in this state of like, no, it's like I'm just here because I kind of am interested. It's a very shitty ego energy. And so oftentimes, sometimes people will book and I will end up being told to cancel that client because it's the energy you're giving off. I don't even think you understand. I mean, we walk out to the stores and any divine feminine, anywhere we go, we know who's in legit energy and who is just not. And so be mindful, Scorpios, because you have that ability to rebirth yourself often throughout your lives, sun, moon, or rising, but you also have an ability to rebirth in a really dark way. And be very, very careful of that. Are you rebirthing in a way that's serving the greater good in the collective? Or are you rebirthing into someone that's really going to end up in a dark place? It's a, I have a moon in Scorpio. I'm not judging Scorpios, guys, but the choice is always yours in who and how you want to rebirth. The hangman here, but yeah, you'll feel weaker the longer you think about this instead of taking an action. That standing in the wind energy of like, I don't know where to go. You're going to feel weaker. The Emperor reversed. You're trying to control a situation. You're trying to know the outcome before making the action. And God's like, no, I'm in charge. Universe is in charge. We're co-creating your reality. And you told me you wanted this higher level of whatever. We brought that to you. And now you're not trusting. You're not flowing. You're stalling. You're freezing. And the wind keeps blowing. And if you believe you are stronger than the entire universe, you are crazy. You're crazy. That is the epitome of narcissism. To believe you control everything instead of saying, nope, I surrender. The train's going off. I mean, you're going to be in a place of massive depression, sadness, anxiety, massive, especially if you typically do experience this in the fall. A lot of Scorpio placements, myself included, it's like over the course of your life. Some people do this with like winter placements or summer. Depending on certain astrology, you actually do experience, like they'll say seasonal depression. But a lot of times it's based on your astrology. Some people are more depressed in springtime, and people will blame it and attribute it to other things. Like, oh, a person passed then. But oftentimes it has to do with your astrology placement. And so again, it's like, what are you going to do with this energy? Because you can get into a really dark place. I feel like some of you run the risk of slipping into some really deep addictions here. Like I see like, DUIs, like just really don't do that. Okay. You're stronger than that. Just do the things and flow with source, follow the repeating numbers, use this report to sit there and get clear, leave the karmic connections. You're going to be feeling so much better. I just wish there wasn't so much fear here, because ultimately your need to control is a result of your own fear. And you're sitting there saying, I'm not afraid of anything. Well, clearly you're afraid of you being a better you, or you just are choosing darkness. So I'm going to let that be, but this feels very intense for you guys. The full moon in Aries especially might really be kicking you, because whatever you were doing 6 months ago, now is that moment. Are you going to harvest those seeds, or are you getting rid of it? Because the universe is like making you decide. And if you don't decide, I don't know what happens, but I'm just saying it just feels like a very intense energy with that Aries moon. On the 10th, we have Mercury entering Libra, which is balanced communication, more balanced communication than we were experiencing the last month. The 14th through the 22nd is more about love. We have Venus in Libra trine Saturn in Aquarius. And so this is asking you to get serious about your long-term goals and vision about love. Many of you might really be reflecting on like equal give and take when it comes to like sexual energy. Oftentimes people get in these roles, like masculine energy, it's all like, I want to be in control, I want to dominate, I'm going to come in and leave and take and do when I want. But they're unwilling or afraid to fully surrender, right? And so really pulling back and asking yourself, what does it look like to surrender and receive energy? And what does it look like to give energy in a sexual way, right? And not just through physical body parts, but through the energy we're feeling, through our feelings, through our emotions. That Scorpio energy rules genitalia, you guys, especially if you have Scorpio placements, especially if they're your moon placement. Mine's moon, guys. You need to be channeling sexual energy. It's part of your ascension journey, but you need to be doing it on your own. And be very mindful of what you feel. Some of you might be feeling darker energies come in during that time. Just push it away and know what you're doing is you're clearing it. Your lower chakras need cleared, okay? And by the way, you can't do this if you're still in another sexual connection. You can't. And you can tell yourself you are all you want. You can't. You got to fully pull away from sex with other people, from relationships with other people, and literally go into isolation for a minute to clear this out. When I say a minute, I mean, like, God, guys, at least a fucking month for you to see a difference. Like, chill out. But yeah, it's like, you guys think you're exploring all these options in the star reversed. And it's like, you're not understanding your own insecurities. So you keep going to other people, you're being codependent. Start exploring the chakras. That might be important this month. Understanding your chakra system. Feminine energy is up here, the top 3, lower energy, heart space in the middle. I'm happy to talk on client calls about this, you guys. But the lower chakras are ruled more by masculine energy. So if you feel imbalanced, like, no, but I just have to have sex and I have to do this, no, it's because you're way imbalanced in your ego and in your sexual energy and in your feeling of safety and security. Finances, like, you're just very controlled in that way, in a way that's imbalanced, right? If you don't have the ability to tap into speaking your truth, your throat chakra, third eye activation or crown activation, following your intuition, that solar plexus, then you're going to be blocked from your heart space. So again, this is understanding those chakras. And if you want the upper chakras unlocked and you want to use those gifts wisely, you've got to harness the sexual energy, period. And you don't have to believe me, but that is the way out. And if you don't do it, you're going to continue to be more uncomfortable and have difficulty finding the love you really want. And again, what's the long-term love you want? What kind of romantic partnership do you want to be in 6 months or in a year? What does that really look like? Because if you're just playing the field and not healing, you're never going to be able to call that in. There's never going to be a feminine energy that is going to meet you in that and be like, oh yeah, okay, it's you. No, you weren't doing the work. They're spiritual. They know who is spiritual. The star reversed. Focus on seeing, everyone is beautiful, yourself included. Like, any body image issues you might hold, masculine energy loves to pretend they're so confident, but they actually hold a lot of insecurities around their physical body, just like feminine energy. And so focus on that, do mirror work, like, really ask yourself, write it down, like, where and why am I insecure? Reread it, take that, burn it with that full moon on the 9th. Ace of Pentacles here, it's like God confirming. We also have the King of Wands. So there could be something here with money too. The King of Wands energy, that's someone who's really passionate, creative. They hold that wand with the leaves where they're like, I can control my sexual energy. I can control passion and desire, but I also can channel it into things like work and all of it, right? Like, I get it all when I have this wand, but I see passion as more than just a hookup, right? And that, trust me, is going to make you coin, right? If you're channeling in these ways with Source. Yeah, look, Wheel of Fortune. You get it. When you get that creative flow and that infinite connection with Source, it never ends, but it has to be harnessed in a way where that energy is channeled at the appropriate times, or you're just going to feel weaker and weaker. And yeah, Justice here with the 9 of Swords. Like, you guys are going to be in your head if you're not providing balance this month. So pay attention to that, Scorpios, okay? On the 23rd, we hit Scorpio season. So happy birthday to those of you that have October birthdays. On the 31st, we have the moon in Aquarius, or the new moon in Aquarius. And so that's a great time to, again, still be manifesting, cultivating what it is you really want to call in, maybe especially around finances, spiritual work. But this does feel more like this call to pull away from other energies this month and go inward and make a clear cutoff, a clear choice, right? Maybe you're reconnecting with someone, but if you are, it should be slow going, I feel like, you know what I mean? Especially any sexual energy. Like, this feels like a very slow thing. But yeah, new moons and the solar eclipse in Scorpio are all about new beginnings and strengthening ourselves from the inside out. So it could be a new beginning by the end of the month with someone, but it feels more like a new beginning with yourself. Like, really getting to know yourself and then allowing others to see the authentic you that there is, and not being afraid to just be vulnerable, be genuine, be truthful. in whatever it is, work, finances, love, sexual encounters, you know? Yeah, the High Priestess. Follow that intuition this month, Scorpios, and you're going to be feeling much better. But if you cannot follow that intuition, guys, it's going to get rockier, especially as we move into Scorpio season. But yeah, you got your 10 of Pentacles. Look at all this freaking money. Money is very significant this month if you can do what Source is asking you to do. You have to have full faith, though. Oftentimes, it does not make sense. What Source calls on you to do doesn't make sense. But you got to get in that flow state, that trust, that surrender. So I love all of you. I will see you back next month. I'm over on TikTok and Instagram as Ginger Mama. And I have a website, gingermama with the 3A's.com, if you'd like to book a personal reading with me. I love all of you. Have a beautiful month. I will see you next month.